could have seen this coming. This was just out of left field. The Ball brothers, LaMelo and LiAngelo, are quitting in Lithuania. They are coming home. They are quitting. Yes, that LeVar has pulled his boys from the team, and here is a quote from Donatas Urbonas, who covers the team in Lithuania on his Twitter account, and he's quoting LeVar, and it says, "We're not going to waste our time no more." That Lonzo, or he's bringing him back. He didn't like the way that they were being used. He didn't like that the coaching, quote, "I just didn't get along with the coach." And then he was asked if LaMelo is going to go back next season, and LeVar's quote was, "You really asked me this. Coach ruined everything, and he'll have to pay the price that Melo is not coming back." That's funny. No,
pay the price?
Pay the price of LaMelo not coming back. That's pretty funny. I kind of turned the page on LeVar. I don't really pay all that much attention, but I got to say, this is the third time they've quit in about a year. They quit Chino Hills.
That word is very strong, Travis. It's a very strong word, this quit that you're using.
What would you prefer?
Transitioning. They're transitioning from one opportunity to another.
They transitioned out of high school basketball because apparently they didn't like the coach.
Okay.
They transitioned out of UCLA because they didn't like the discipline of being benched because they stole in China. And now they're transitioning out of Lithuania because they didn't like the coach again.
Well, you know.
I just think that there might be a bit of a pattern here.
It's a lot of transitions.
They transition more frequently than most people.
Now let's kind of take each transition step by step.
All right.
There are tons of people in this very town that we're in right now who have young people who are extremely talented at their craft and are homeschooled because the school that they go to cannot give them what they need.
Okay.
They're singers, they're actors, young actors, things like that.
Okay.
And then there are other sports like tennis, for instance. There's young tennis players who leave high school.
Go to the academy,
things like that. So what they did in that scenario, it's not necessarily unique, but particularly for LA. Would you agree with that?
Okay.
All right. So transition number 2.
Uh-huh.
It is my understanding that
transition.
Transition number 2. It is my understanding that they weren't allowed to practice with the team.
Okay.
That they weren't allowed to be with the team in any capacity.
Okay.
During their discipline. Now, if your hope is to one day become a professional basketball player, why would you stay in an environment where you couldn't get better? Mm-hmm. Where it was sanctioned for you not to get better. You couldn't practice, you couldn't learn plays. So then what happens if you stay and you're back on the team the following year? You're a freshman but a sophomore. You're behind the 8 ball. So the punishment hinders their ability to actually ultimately pursue their hope and dream of being a professional basketball player.
Got it.
Transition number 3?
From Lithuania.
Yeah, the food's not good. And they were probably hungry. I don't think there's any In-N-Out burgers over there and stuff. You can only play Fortnite for so long.
Well, all evidence to the contrary in my house. Because apparently you can play 24 hours a day and never get tired of it. My 2 boys are on Fortnite unless I physically go in there and remove that controller from their hands.
Holy cow.
It is ridiculous. Do you play?
You should send us to Lithuania. I do not play. I don't play video games.
Neither do I.
I'm a go out and do kind of guy. So I still play basketball every weekend. I still play tennis.
Yeah.
I like to go to the gym. Like I'm still physically active. You asked me about golf before.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough to play golf.
You look it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. But unfortunately, this vertical over here won't let me go.
I understand.
So I'm still,
I understand. No, but okay, back to the balls for a second. And while I appreciate
your effort. Did you like my spin?
I appreciate your effort.
I'm so dizzy from spinning that.
Transitioning. I do like that. Here's the
Kelly
question I would ask
LeVar.
I would ask LeVar.
Yeah.
He does realize he's not going to be a head coach in the NBA, right? LeVar Ball is not going to get one of those 30 jobs. Because apparently...
Does he realize that?
Because the reason I ask is apparently the only people that know how to use his sons are him.
Yeah.
Is him.
Yeah.
And if he's not the head coach in the NBA, he can't just have these guys quit every time the quote...
Transition.
Thank you. Uh-huh. Thank you. They can't transition to another organization when they hear something, because eventually they're going to have to get coached.
They're learning,
and apparently they really don't like that.
They're
And as
learning
far
bad
as the
lessons.
UCLA transition goes, I won't even. Maybe don't steal. That's the first thing.
Oh, jeez, okay.
And then two is, hey, look, this is the punishment. You did something that embarrassed the university, and if you want, we're not saying you got to go, but we're gonna punish you severely, and that means if you want to start from square one again next year, we'd love to have you, but that's the punishment.
Well, listen, did you see the sunglasses though? Did you
they
see
nice?
them? I mean, fire.
Yeah, all right, fire. emojis.
I can see what the.
Yeah.
Listen, they're learning bad life lessons. I'm a
Yes.
parent. You're a parent. This is teaching your kids a bad life lesson. All kidding aside, when you listen to the morning show with us, Mornings with Keyshawn, George, and LZ, we are supportive of a lot of the things that the Ball family and LeVar in particular want to do.
I am too.
So
Yeah.
And so when you are supportive of someone, you kind of want to see the world or their ambitions through their eyes and their perspectives, their beefs with people through their perspectives, because you believe in what they're ultimately trying to do. But it has gotten to the point in which you're not quite sure what they're trying to do, so it's hard to support them. Now, you say that you want your boys to have a global brand.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a tiny league in a tiny country, you make a little noise, and then you are leaving, and what's the plan? Are you still trying to make your boys a global brand? And if there's a new place that you're trying to showcase their talent, what exactly is that going to be? When he talked about the JBA, a lot of people kind of laughed at him.
It's a great idea. He's just the wrong guy to do it.
It's a great idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And especially given what's happened with the NCAA recently,
Yep.
and now there's the commission that's out there. Once again, what LeVar's talking about with the NCAA rings true.
I agree with you.
It's just the execution. It's has become a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
So it's disappointing that the boys are not going to finish, the young men rather, are not going to finish their contracts or their time in Lithuania.
Well, yeah, and I mean, maybe this is semantics or maybe this is meaningful. I don't know. You tell me. One of them is a boy. The other,
Yeah.
he was a high school sophomore.
Yeah.
That's a boy.
That's the boy. Yeah.
Okay, that's not a man.
No.
The other two are men and
Or technically adults or
right,
whatever,
adults,
right.
adults, and they can make their own decisions theoretically.
Apparently not.
But here's the thing: if LeVar Ball's goal is to create a brand and make money, then he's so far so good.
Yeah.
He's doing that. And if that is the end of his mission, then he's on track.
Mm-hmm.
But if the mission is to teach these kids how to be successful in life, aside
Yeah.
from just having a bunch of money, then he's not on the right. Because the second something doesn't work, that they literally doesn't like, we're out of here. This guy's an idiot. This guy sucks. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. They're going to ruin. No, sometimes people that coach you, manage you, they're going to tell you things you don't like to hear.
Right.
And that's part of being an adult and part of being a man and learning how to live and work and survive in the world where the first time you hear no, you don't tell everybody to jump off a cliff and go look for somewhere else. And
Right.
eventually these guys, they'll have money or they won't. This thing will work or it will not. But they're going to have to live in the world.
Right. And and that to me is the disappointing part, right? Because I've always believed him to be a good father. I always wanted the best for his kids. Instilling a habit of quitting when things transitioning. Thank you for correcting me. When things don't go your way, just isn't helpful. And oh, by the way, anyone who is really talented in, let's say, radio, they know the importance of a good producer.
Yes.
Anyone who's really talented in writing understand they need a really good editor. And if you're an athlete and you don't like to be coached, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
You are going to have a problem because you won't be able to see the forest from the trees 24/7. And a good coach is there to help you be the eyes that you can't be. And if you're being taught you don't need those eyes, then you're being taught not to be the best you possibly can. And that, to me, is the unfortunate thing, what's been happening, at least publicly. We don't know what's going on privately.
Yeah.
But publicly, That's the disappointing thing that's been going on.
Yeah, and they're making money, so maybe that's the end game right there. You guys
Well,
have
at least
an
their
event
clothes are on.
coming up on
I'm like
Friday
the
morning.
Kardashians taking off their clothes all the time.